Alright, here we go, kicking off part 18 of my collection update for 2016, or 2026. That's twice I've almost said 2016. If it was 2016, then we would have been done already, because at that point I think I only had like 1,000 movies. Maybe like 600 or 700, something like that. Up first in this video we have The Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers. This one's PG. Came out in 2002 and is 82 minutes long. Right here. Also has Alec Baldwin, Dakota Fanning, and I'm guessing this kid is Spencer Breslin from the Santa Claus trilogy. Yeah, okay. So it's over here. Next up, we have Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. Right here. This one is PG-13 from 2002 as well. Looks like Christopher Walken is in here as well. That's cool. And let's see, 2 hours and 21 minutes long. 2 discs, a movie disc and a bonus feature disc. So here we go. There's a little insert in here that has a few other movies listed on the back. A few of which I would like to try and get. Actually, 2 of them. I think I have the rest of these, other than Amistad and Road to Perdition. I want to try and get those 2 as well. But yeah. Next up, we have, I think I can set these over here. A 3-movie Cats and Dogs collection with Cats and Dogs, I think Cats and Dogs 2, Revenge of Kitty Galore, and Cats and Dogs 3, Paws Unite. Jeff Goldblum is in the original with Elizabeth Perkins. The second one has Neil Patrick Harris, James Marsden, and Chris O'Donnell in it. And those are the names from the second one that I recognize. The third one, do I recognize any of these names? Yes, George Lopez is in here. And they're all PG. They have different reasons for being PG. The first 2 are PG for animal action and humor. The third one is PG for, quote, rude humor, whatever that means. It came out in 2001, 2010, and looks like 2020. Is that right? Possibly. Yeah. The first 2 were on the same disc, and Paws Unite was on its own disc. I did, however, get individual copies of the first 2 before getting this trilogy collection. Next up, we have Charlotte's Web, the original, and the 2006 live-action remake? Yes. So the 1973 original animated one and the 2006 version here. Let's see, the original has no names that I recognize. And the 2006 live-action version has Julia Roberts and a very young Dakota Fanning, as well as Oprah Winfrey, Cedric the Entertainer, Kathy Bates, Steve Buscemi, Robert Redford. Lots of people I recognize on this one. Music by Danny Elfman. Cool. and they're actually pretty close in runtime. The original from 1973 version is 94 minutes, and the 2006 live-action remake is 96 minutes. So there's only a 2-minute difference in the runtime. That's interesting. They're Paramount Pictures movies, with the remake also being done with Nickelodeon. So yeah, here we are. OG and live action. Very cool. That's not it for Charlotte's Web. I also have Charlotte's Web 2, Wilbur's Great Adventure. This one, I don't recognize any of the names on the back of, other than Amanda Bynes. This one's also rated G, so all 3 of them are rated G. This is 79 minutes from 2003. Here's another is a Paramount, Universal, and Nickelodeon project. Interesting. Okay. Next up, we have A Christmas Carol with George C. Scott. I think I have 2 copies of this, but kept one of the cases for them. Yeah, because they were 2 of the exact same design here. The discs inside looks different and are currently in my binders, but the cases for them looked the same. This one is PG from 1984 with 100 minutes. Yeah, very cool. Next up, we have a Jim Carrey Christmas Carol, which is animated, which means I think he voices a few of the different characters, including Scrooge there. We also have the voice talents of Gary Oldman and Colin Firth in here. And this one is 96 minutes, PG, came out in 2010. And this one is a Disney movie, in case this signature didn't make that clear. That is Walt Disney's Disney signature. Yeah. Raised in a Disney household. Next up, we have Christmas Story, not A Christmas Story, that's this one. This is Christmas Story. It says, if Walt Disney would have known how, this is the kind of Christmas story he would have created. The touching story of how Santa Claus came to be Santa. This one is PG for 78 minutes. And looks like it came out in 2009 maybe, or 2007. As far as the cast is concerned, I don't recognize any of these names on the back of the case here, but here we are. No insert or anything like that on the inside of the case. And next up we have A Christmas Story, which is iconic and usually plays on loop around Christmas time. On live, when we used to have live TV, this would play like 300 or 400 times over the month of December. This came out in 1983. Is PG and 93 minutes long. Yeah. Here we go. Next up, we have A Christmas Story 2. Not a lot of people know about this one, but it seems pretty good, actually. In this one, instead of wanting a Red Ryder BB gun, little Ralphie wants his first car, and he has a girlfriend this time around. And that leg lamp is still causing family controversy. Let's see. This one has... I don't recognize any of the names listed on the back of here, but this guy does look familiar to me. This one came out in, looks like 2012, is also PG, and 85 minutes. I think, let's see. I want to say that's Marv from the first two Home Alone movies. I don't know the actor's name, though. Darn. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that is Marv from the Home Alone 1 and 2 movies. Anyway, next up we have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation right here. This is a special edition for some reason. Not sure why or what's been added other than some special features that are listed on here. Came out in 1989, PG-13, 97 minutes. Are there any names that I recognize on the back of here? I recognize the name Randy Quaid, but it's mainly the Quaid that I recognize because of, why am I spacing on his name now? Dennis Quaid. That's why that sounds familiar. Yeah, his was the only name that I recognize on the back of here, is Randy Quaid, because of Dennis Quaid. Yeah, I need to give this one a watch, because I've heard mixed things about it. Some people either really like it or really don't. So I wonder which camp I'll fall into with that. Next up, we have a 4-movie holiday comedy collection with Fred Claus, Just Friends, Unaccompanied Minors, and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure, which is where I have this one placed under his Christmas Vacation 2. In the same order I listed them initially, we have Fred Claus, PG, Just Friends, PG-13, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, not rated, and Unaccompanied Minors is PG. The runtimes in that are Fred Claus, 115 minutes, Just Friends, 94 minutes. I also have an individual copy of Just Friends. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2 is 83 minutes, and Unaccompanied Minors is 90 minutes. And as far as the casts of them are concerned, for Fred Claus, we have Paul Giamatti, Vince Vaughn, Elizabeth Banks, and Rachel Weisz, Kathy Banks, and Kathy Bates, and Kevin Spacey. In Just Friends, we have Anna Faris, Ryan Reynolds, Amy Smart, and others. In National Lampoon 2, we have Randy Quaid again, and that's the only name that I recognize on here. And for Unaccompanied Minors, do I recognize any of the names here? I do not. Okay then, moving on. Next up, we have Chronicle Director's Cut, the Lost Footage Edition, which I think means that it has a theatrical and director's cut included. Okay. The slipcover has a sticker covering some of the information, so I had to pull the case up out of it like that. But I'm going to go ahead and take that off for a second. They appear to have the same runtime for both. 84 minutes each. It doesn't give a runtime for the extended cut. It doesn't look like, or any indication of how much longer said extended cut is. Came out in 2012. One of the characters in this, what's the guy's name? Dane DeHaan was the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Harry Osborn Green Goblin. Michael B. Jordan was obviously in a bunch of things, and including Fan4stick and the MCU. In Fan4stick, he was Johnny Storm, and in the MCU, he was Killmonger. There's the only two names that I recognize on here. So let's see. The inside of the case does not have any further runtime thing or information. It says it's an director's cut extended version, but it doesn't have a runtime for that one. Just the theatrical runtime, which is found on both the DVD and the Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray doesn't have. That's obnoxious. Okay, well, moving on. Next up, we have the OG Cinderella, which I do have a couple of Blu-rays and a few DVDs of. We have a G-rated 75-minute movie, and this particular version came out in 2019, but the movie itself is obviously much older than that. Because this is an anniversary edition from the Signature Collection, Walt Disney Signature Collection. I want to say this originally came out in like the 70s or 60s. Let me know down below in the comments section when the original Cinderella came out. Next up, we have a 2-movie Blu-ray DVD collection of Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True, and Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, my favorite of the original 3, by the way, because I like time travel stuff. And here we go. And here, both of them, I think, are rated G. I would be shocked if they weren't. Both are 74 minutes. And this Blu-ray collection came out in 2019, but the movies themselves are both older than that. And I think both are direct-to-video sequels. Okay. Moving on then. Next up, we have triple formatted. We have the 4K of the Cinderella live-action remake, which I think is one of the better remakes. Better live-action remakes, I should say. This one is 105 minutes, PG, and I recognize quite a few names on the back of here, including, but not limited to, Cate Blanchett, Stellan Skarsgård, Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah, I guess it's just those ones. Okay. But yeah, this is one of the better live-action remakes, like I said. This one I do believe it is accurate that it came out in 2019, maybe a year or two before then, but ballpark would be correct. Next up, we have Ever After, A Cinderella Story with Drew Barrymore, right here. This one also has Angelica Houston, who I believe is this lady here, who was the Grand High Witch in the original Witches movie by Roald Dahl. filmography. So Drew Barrymore and Angelica Hudson are the names that I recognize on the back of here. This is PG-13. 1998 looks like, and a runtime of 100 minutes. Cool. Next up, we have A Cinderella Story. This one stars Hilary Duff and is set in modern day. Or modern day as of release year, which is, I believe, 2004. Although it also has a 1996 date on the back, but that's not in regards to the movie, I guess. 95 minutes, PG. Jennifer Coolidge is also in here, and Regina King. So there we go. Next up, we have another Cinderella story. This one has Selena Gomez in it, as well as her from Freddy vs. Jason. I don't know the actress's name. Who played the Freddy vs. Jason lady. This one is PG, 92 minutes long. And Jane Lynch is also in this one. Okay, cool. She's not on the front cover or the back cover, as best I can tell, at least. And this one, I believe, came out in 2008. I could be wrong, though. It came out sometime after Wizards of Waverly Place, because that's what it credits Selena Gomez for. Which I believe that started in 08 or 07, so I think my guess of 2007. This one also set in modern day, but I'm guessing that 2008 is approximately when it came out, because it also calls out High School Musical 1. Back here, no insert. Time to put the slipcover back on. Alright. Next stack. We're already 22 minutes in, and we've only gone through one stack. Wow. Okay. Next up, we have, in one of these annoying paper cases, the original Clash of the Titans from 1981. And this is still a really solid version of the story, honestly. The visual effects are, of course, a bit dated, but still a really good adaptation of the Clash of the Titans story. Let's see here. We have Maggie Smith in here, and hers is the only name that I recognize in here. This is PG and 118 minutes long. Next up, I have two cases for the 2010, I think, remake. Yeah, 2010 Clash of the Titans remake. This one has a lot more CG effects. And this is, I believe, PG-13. For 106 minutes. The reason I kept the DVD case is because my Blu-ray Steelbook, which we'll get to in just a second, doesn't have a runtime on it, and this one does. This one has Sam Worthington, Liam Neeson, and Ralph Fiennes in it. Ralph Fiennes plays Hades, whereas Liam Neeson is Zeus, and this guy, Perseus, is Sam Worthington. Yeah, another solid adaptation. And here is the Steelbook version here. You can see there is no runtime listed on the back of here. And the inside is just this shiny gold color. Next up, we have Wrath of the Titans, which is a sequel to the, 2012 sequel to Wrath of the Titans 2010. Returning cast members include Sam Worthington, Liam Neeson, and Ralph Fiennes. And Bill Nighy is in here. This one's also PG-13 and 99 minutes. Very cool. And here's the back of the case, as well as the front. And there's no design on the inside. All right. Next up, we have Walt Disney's Classic Cartoon Favorites, Volume 1, starring Mickey. I also have Volume 2, 8, and I believe 12. Yes, 12. I don't have a case for Volume 8, but I do have the disc for it. I think the case got tossed long ago when I was little, because we used to throw away cases. I want to get as many of these as I can, if not all of them, all 12 volumes. This one is 60 minutes long. Looks like it came out in 2005 for the DVD release here. Doesn't seem to have any rating information on here. Yeah. Okay. All of it is in color. Moving on. I also have Volume 2 starring Donald Duck. Volume 3 is starring Goofy, and Volume 4 starring Chip and Dale I have not been able to find yet. I do have Volume 8. I don't remember which one that is. I want to say it's like Mickey and Pals, or Mickey and Minnie, something like that. Anyway. This one is 61 minutes long. Another 2005 release date. Yeah. Gotta try and find the rest of these to add to my collection. So I have volumes 1 through 12. And this one is volume 12, Best Pals, Mickey and Pluto. Right here. This one is 55 minutes with a 2006 DVD release. There we go. Yeah. Volume 10 is called Best Pals, Mickey and Minnie. And volume 11 is Best Pals, Donald and Daisy. Donald and Daisy Duck, that is. Next up, we have Clock Stoppers. What if you had the power to stop time? This is a Nickelodeon movie. It is PG from 2002 and 93 minutes long. And we have French Stewart in here, as well as Michael Biehn from The Terminator. B-I-E-H-N. I think that's spells Biehn. I could be wrong. I've never tried pronouncing it before. Yeah. Next up, we have a Blu-ray DVD combo for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 1. This one is PG. It came out in 2009. And where in the heck is the runtime hiding? It is here somewhere. 90 minutes. Found it. Okay. The cast we have Bill Hader, Anna Faris, Bruce Campbell, Neil Patrick Harris, and those are the names that I recognize on this one. So yeah, classic animated movie here. In my mind, just as good, we have Cloudy the Chance of Meatballs 2. And this is also a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. Also PG. 95 minutes long and came out in 2013, looks like. Why is there not a third one yet? I don't know. Good question. Much of the cast is returning, so I'm not going to mention them here because I mentioned them just a second ago with the first one. One of my favorite sequences in this one is when there's a talking shrimp, which is, they call it a chimpanzee, and this monkey character here, Steve, has a monkey to English translator that the chimpanzee keeps trying to steal. So they have a back and forth. Chimpanzee, Steve, shum, Steve, which is a really fun scene. I think they might go back and forth one or three times before getting shoved, or before the shrimp gets shoved off of the screen with the translator landing with Steve. But yeah, very cute movie. Next up, in the murder mystery genre, we have Clue the movie. This one has Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd, and those are the only two names that I recognize. Christopher Lloyd's character, Professor Plum, is always saying, "I didn't do it," and it turns out he did not, in fact, do it in any of the three versions. So he was, in fact, innocent. But yeah, 3 different surprise endings. And this one is PG. Came out in 1985 and is 96 minutes long. I imagine that's with all 3 endings added on. And great movie based on the Clue board game. If you haven't seen this movie, get to it. It's very good. So, yeah. Next up, we have Coach Carter with Samuel L. Jackson. I have not seen this one. This is one Dad brought me home from work. And let's see, it's PG-13. Came out in 2005 and is 136 minutes. And I think Samuel L. Jackson's name is the only one I recognize on the back of here. That is, in fact, the case. Yep. Moving on. Sports goes over my head. Oh, look, sports reference. That's what it does. Next up, we have from the Disney 100 collection, Blu-ray DVD combo pack for Coco, right here. And I believe the movie itself came out in 2019, but this is from the 2023 Disney 100 collection. So it has a similar design on the front of the case that is found on the slipcover as well. Almost dropped that. But the back of the case does look different. Both have runtime and rating information, etc. 105 minutes, PG. This one has cast information. It has songs by Christian Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez, who I believe also did the music for Frozen's 1 and 2, which we'll get to in a future video. Let's see. Don't recognize any of the cast members here. Okay. Moving on. Next up, we have a 4K, which gave me a triple formatting for The Commuter with Liam Neeson. And I got this for $5 over in a Goodwill in Pasco, which for a 4K is a great price. Yeah. This one is 105 minutes, PG-13. Came out in when? Looks like 2018, maybe. Yeah, I might have to look on the disc or the discs themselves to know when exactly this one came out. But I'm thinking it's probably 2018. So, we have Liam Neeson, Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, and Sam Neill being the names that I recognize from this one. And yeah, kind of one of the more generic, recent or semi-recent Liam Neeson action movies. This one is basically non-stop on a commuter train instead of an airplane. Same basic premise. Next up, we have Confessions of a Shopaholic with Isla Fisher, who I believe is the redhead here. Non-stop laughing spree is what it says on the bottom, and it says hilarious on the top. I would agree with both of those statements, actually. Additional cast members are John Goodman, which means I recognize John Goodman and Isla Fisher's names, and no one else's so far. It's 105 minutes long, PG, came out in 2009, and surprisingly enough, it wasn't very eye-opening for a shopaholic myself, for being a shopaholic myself. But yeah, of course I go movie shopping, and this is about clothing shopping. Next up, we have Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen with Lindsay Lohan right here. In case that wasn't abundantly clear by having 9 pictures of her on the front of the case alone. This one came out after Freaky Friday, also with Lindsay Lohan. Which means it also came out after her Parent Trap movie, because she was just like 7 or 8 in that one, I think, or maybe 10. Came out in 2004, 90 minutes long, PG rating. And Lindsay Lohan's name is the only one I recognize on the back of the case here. Unless, I think Megan Fox might be in here. Because I think I recognize her profile right there. By profile, I mean like profile. It doesn't show her head on. It shows her profile. I'm pretty sure that's Megan Fox from the Transformers series. But I'll have to rewatch it to definitively say that that is the case or not. Next up, we have a Blu-ray DVD combo pack for Coraline right here. This is PG. Came out in 2009 originally. This particular copy did not. I believe this is another Tim Burton movie. Is memory right? Maybe. It says from the director of The Nightmare Before Christmas, so I'm guessing that that is indeed Tim Burton. Features the voices, one voice that I recognize the name for, and that is Dakota Fanning. 101 minutes long. I already stated that it's PG. And I personally enjoyed this movie. I have some buttons on the inside there, or design of some buttons. which if you've seen the movie, you'll know exactly why that is. This little booklet I'm looking through here has like production information and whatnot in it. Yeah, right here. This is a Shout Factory release. This particular version is, at least. All right. Next up, we have Couples Retreat with Vince Vaughn and others. I'll list the others when I look at the back of the case. Looks like I need to move this down a little bit, actually. It's sticking up just a little too much. There we go. Here we go. So we got Vince Vaughn, Jason Bateman, Jon Favreau, Kristen Bell, and those are the names that I recognize. I also recognize her, but I don't know her name. This is PG-13, an hour 54, an hour and 54 minutes long, and came out in 2010. Okay. Cool. I need to check that one out. I want to say I watched it a long time ago and need to revisit it because I'm drawing a blank on things that are in there. Next up, we have The Croods. 1. I don't have Croods 2, The New Age. But this is the first one. I don't recognize any of the names on the back of here. But this is, I believe, PG. It has a Canadian G rating, which doesn't really help me very much. It's came out in 2013, an hour and 38 minutes. More information on the inside. I'm pretty sure this is PG in America. Yeah, anyway. Next up, we have The Curious Case of Benjamin Button with Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. Who else is in this with them? Those are the only 2 names that I recognize. Okay, then. It is PG-13 from 2008 and 165 minutes long. I have not seen this one yet, but I keep hearing good things about it, so I need to get on watching a lot of these that I keep hearing good things about. Not sure why I haven't checked them out, honestly, but oh well. Last stack for now, we have a case that annoys me to no end because of how flimsy and broken down it is, and that is this Curious George case. This has 3, I believe, live-action movies. Or maybe they're animated because it says featuring the voice talents of Will Ferrell, Drew Barrymore, John Goodman, and Angela Bassett. They are all rated G. The first one is just called Curious George. The second one is Curious George 2, Follow That Monkey. And Curious George 3 is Back to the Jungle. It also includes a playset with stickers, a mask, and a country house playset. Obviously, I got it just for the movies itself, although I believe this is that playset thing. No, this is just where the movies were. Okay. Came out in 2006, 2009, and 2015, respectively. Looks like Tim Curry's in the second one. That's cool. Dick Van Dyke's in the original. So is Evangeline Lilly. or sorry, Eugene Levy, my bad. Very different people. Okay. The run times are an hour 28 for the first one, an hour 21 for the second and third. Again, I don't know why it came in such a flimsy case like this. That annoys me so much because of how flimsy and beat up it looks. I wish it had a case like this, one of the hard plastic cases. Or, is it too much to ask for a steelbook? Next up, we have the cutting edge, which the rating discrepancies on the back of this case are baffling. You'll see what I mean in just a second. Before I explain that, I don't recognize any of the cast members on the back of here, but it is an hour and 42 minutes from 1992, and the baffling rating information that we have here is, in America, it's PG. Makes sense. In Canada, for some reason, it's rated R. What the heck, Canada? That makes no sense whatsoever. Of course, I haven't seen it, so maybe it's warranted, maybe it's not, but Canadian R rating for a PG American rating? What? That is weird. Next up, we have a double feature of Daddy Daycare and Daddy Day Camp, with Eddie Murphy in the original being replaced by Cuba Gooding Jr. in the second one. I think they're both really funny. I kind of like the Eddie Murphy original one more, but I also do enjoy the Daddy Day Camp. Both are rated PG. They came out in 2003 and 2007, respectively. And the original is Daddy Day Care is 92 minutes, and Daddy Day Camp is 89 minutes. Other cast information, if I recognize any of these other names, we have Regina King in the original, and I don't recognize any of the names listed on the back for the second one. I like how there's a kid dressed as the Flash in the original, which, I mean, that could be why I like the first one more a little bit. It might be a contributing factor, at least, because I do like comic Flash and either John Wesley Shipp or Grant Gustin's Flashes. Ezra Miller's Flash, no go. But yeah, that's because, as I've stated many times, Ezra Miller is a disaster of a human being. Hopefully his acting career has come to an end with 2023's The Flash. Moving on, next up we have Daddy's Home 2. I need to get the first one. I've seen the first one, not the second one, which is funny, but because I only have the second one. But this has Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Mel Gibson, and John Lithgow as the male leads here, pictured on the case. Who else is in this? Any other names I recognize? Oh, looks like John Cena is in it because he's on the back of the case here. I don't know exactly for sure, but I'm guessing that Linda Cardinelli is this girl here. This is PG-13 from 2017 and is 99 minutes long. And yeah, I think she was the early 2000s Velma in Scooby-Doo 1 and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, as well as Mrs. Barton in the MCU. Next up, we have The Court Jester and the Five Pennies, which were on separate discs. Both are Danny Kaye movies, I guess. I don't know who Danny Kaye is, but here we go. Neither one are rated. They're both in color. They came out in, looks like, 1955 for Court Jester and 1959 for the Five Pennies. Louis Armstrong is in the Five Pennies, it looks like. And they are in the same order, with this one being 101 minutes and this one 117 minutes. The same order I referenced them to begin with. I don't really have a whole lot to say about these because I haven't watched either one yet. So, moving on. Next up, I managed to find the third and final season of Danny Phantom, but I would love to get the first and second season because I love this series. It's such a great show. This one is plus or minus 5 hours long, with 2005 release, and is TVY7, which means it would be safe for G-rated audiences. Yeah, this particular case from Shout Factory was a 2013 release. So yeah, great series. Love Danny Phantom. 2 discs. I imagine seasons 1 and 2 also have 2 discs each. So I have 4 spaces saved before this one for those 2 seasons. Next up, we have The Dark Crystal with from Jim Henson. Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. And any puppet that Jim Henson has made is technically also a Muppet, which means Yoda, the original Yoda puppet, is a Muppet. This one came out in when? It says 2005, Jim Henson Company, but I want to say the movie came out before that, because it references Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, which came out in 1980, so I'm guessing similar time frame, maybe 81, 82, there, somewhere in there. Features Frank Oz. Obviously, he's the voice of Yoda and Miss Piggy. And he voices characters here as well. 93 minutes long. And PG rating. So, The Dark Crystal here. Been a long time since I watched that, but I remember it was pretty good. Next up, we have a Tim Burton film, Dark Shadows, with Johnny Depp. And this is one of his pasty white, kind of acting type movies. Looks like we also have Chloe Grace Moretz in here. And maybe Helena Bonham Carter? Let's see. Michelle Pfeiffer, Helena Bonham Carter, Jackie Earle Haley, Chloe Grace Moretz, Johnny Depp. PG-13, 113 minutes. And that's all I have to say about that. Next up, we have Date Movie. This is the unrated version. Let's see. Let's see. Our cast information. Jennifer Coolidge is in it. And That's the only name I recognize on the back of here. Again, it's not a not rated version. Came out in 2006 and is 85 minutes long. It has 12 deleted, extended, or alternate scenes. All right, here we go. Next up, we have Date Night with Steve Carell and Tina Fey. This is the extended edition, which I believe also has the theatrical version, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say it was a double-sided disc with the theatrical on the top and the unrated or the extended one on the bottom, or the other way around. Is also a possibility. We also have, looks like, Mark Wahlberg and James Franco on here on the back of the case, based on pictures of them being on the back. And then again, I recognize this girl, but I don't know her name. I think I pointed her out earlier in this video. Came out in 2010 and is 88 minutes long. I'm not sure what the extended cuts runtime is, because I'm guessing 88 is the theatrical runtime, but I'm sure the disc itself would say what the extended runtime was. So yeah, PG-13 and not rated versions, because the extended version is not rated. Yeah. Next up, we have the Dean Martin Celebrity Roasts, featuring Bob Hope and many others. Right here. Like that. Let's see. This is 48 minutes long, in color, and not rated. It does say, warning, some of the jokes and ethnic references heard in these roasts would most likely not be allowed on network TV today. Keep in mind the tenor of the times, the bawdy party atmosphere, and the fact that many of these celebrities were friends who loved to give and take a good shot. The cigarettes are real, the drinks are free, and the camaraderie is heartfelt. Okay. Interesting. This came out in 1973. It looks like Lucille Ball is in this at some point, as well as John Wayne, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Stewart, Neil Armstrong. And probably many, many others. All right. Cool. Moving on. Next up, we have Definitely, Maybe, with Ryan Reynolds, Isla Fisher, I should say. Elizabeth Banks and Rachel Weisz. I think the little girl on the front of the case might be Abigail Breslin. And then Derek Luke is also in it, but I don't really know who that is. But here we go. I'm thinking this is probably Abigail Breslin. Yeah, it says Will, played by Ryan Reynolds, decides to tell his daughter, Abigail Breslin, the story of how he met her mother. This is PG-13, came out in 2007, and is an hour and 52 minutes long. Next up, we have Dennis the Menace Special Edition and Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. each time with a different cast, which follows suit with Dennis the Menace Christmas in this collection, which we'll get to in just a second. Here we go. The first one is PG, the second one is G. The first one is 96 minutes, and the second is 75 minutes. Christopher Lloyd is in the original. And Betty White is in the second, or the Strikes Again. Dennis the Menace Strikes Again has Betty White in it. And yeah, both are very funny. I watched them both with my dad. I haven't watched the Dennis the Menace Christmas yet. But this collection also has Richie Rich's Christmas Wish, Jack Frost, and the Nutcracker with Dennis the Menace Christmas. Dennis the Menace Christmas is G-rated, Jack Frost is PG, and the other two, the Nutcracker and Richie Rich's Christmas Wish, are both rated G. The run times for them are, I'll point at the title that I'm saying the runtime of for this one. With this one, we have 87 minutes. With this one, we have 102 minutes. With this one, we have 93 minutes. And with this one, we have 84 minutes. Michael Keaton is in Jack Frost. One of them has Macaulay Culkin in it. I'm not sure which one quite yet, but let's see if about the cast information here. I don't recognize any of the cast member names for A Dennis the Menace Christmas. And Michael Keaton's is the only name I recognize for Jack Frost. For which one was this? For the Nutcracker, I think. I don't reckon. Oh, Macaulay Culkin is the nephew in the Nutcracker. Okay. Cool. This is the only name that I recognize on here, though, for that one. And for Richie Rich's Christmas Wish, I don't seem to recognize any of the names on here except Eugene Levy is in it as well. Isn't it? So yeah, moving on. Next up, we have a few more titles, 4 more cases, but more titles than that. And we're at an hour and 3 minutes so far, almost an hour and 4 minutes. Up next, we have Deja Vu with Denzel Washington, right here. Great movie. Let's see, Denzel Washington, Val Kilmer, and there's Jim Caviezel. Those are the 3 names that I recognize on the back of here. This was a 2007 release for the DVD. 126 minutes. That's 2 hours and 6 minutes. My bad. And a PG-13 rating. Very cool. Great movie, like I said. Next up is a 10-movie detective collection. Right here. And the movies included, none of which have rating materials. or not rating materials, rating information on them. I believe there was just 3 discs included. Yeah, 3 DVDs for 10 movies. This particular collection was released in 2005, but the titles themselves, I believe, are much older than that because there's a bunch of black and white pictures on the back. But the titles are Bulldog Drummond's Revenge, Bulldog Drummond Escapes, Bulldog Drummond in Africa, Dick Tracy versus Cue Ball, Dick Tracy meets Gruesome with Boris Karloff. I recognize his name because he is the Universal Classic Monsters collection of Frankenstein's monster. Sherlock Holmes, Terror by Night, Sherlock Holmes and the Secret Weapon, Dick Tracy Detective, Mr. Moto's Last Warning, and Sherlock Holmes Dressed to Kill. Movie ratings vary. Parental guidance suggested. Okay. Next up, we have a 4-movie John Wayne collection. And a little fun bit of trivia that I learned somewhat recently is that John Wayne holds a record for most characters portrayed in a movie acting career. So here are 4 of his movies, which include 1935's Lawless Range with 55 minutes in black and white. I'm guessing it's not rated because of how old it is. I don't think they had a rating system in the 1930s, honestly. Or at least nothing beyond like a G rating. I would be surprised if these were beyond a G rating, content-wise. The next one from 1934, which is also 55 minutes long, is The Lucky Texan. And then we have The Range Feud from 1931, which is 58 minutes, and all of the above are black and white. And then we have, last up is, for this particular collection, we have Two-Fisted Law from 1930 something. It just says 193. So it's also from the 1930s, but the last digit of the year it was cut off for some reason, not included. I'm pretty sure it did not come out in the year 193 because movies have not been around that long. I think movies have been around since like the 1910 or something like that. But it is 54 minutes in black and white for a combined runtime total of 240 minutes, all of which are black and white. No rating information to be found, but might not have needed it in the 1930s. So there we go. Next up, it says 50 films, Great American John Wayne Western Collection, but I don't think this lists 50 titles here. I'd be surprised if this was 50 titles. I'm not going to count them personally, but I think this is just a small portion of them. And they are as follows. The Young Land from looks like 1960 maybe. Tulsa from 1950 approximately. Mohawk, Fair Play, Sheriff of Sage Valley, Jory, The Outlaw, Western Cyclone, Shootout at Big Sag, Parts 1 and 2, California, The Jackals with Vincent Price, American Empire, The Marshal of Madrid, The Hanged Man, Sam Cade, Kansas Pacific, Trouble in Texas, Call the Musketeers, Without Honor, Stampede, Pony Express Rider, The Buckskin Lady, The Light of Western Stars, Billy the Kid, Frontier Outlaws, Billy the Kid Rides Again, Vengeance Valley, and last but not least, for this particular case, is Santa Fe Trail, not Trial, my bad. No rating information or inclination towards when they came out, other than the first two having some sort of Academy Award in 1960 and 1950, respectively. So yeah, that is it for this particular video. If you made it all the way through this video, put capital D Danny and capital P Phantom down below in the comment section to prove you made it all the way through this video from beginning to end. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Keep talking movies a lot. We all know I'm going to. Heck, that's what my channel's called. So yeah, take care.